We start off today's wrestling news and rumors video with an interesting bit of new information regarding the WWE's newest Wrecking Machine faction, Retribution, because following last night's edition of Monday Night Raw, which showcased a couple members of Retribution speaking out for the first time, there's tons of new rumors and speculation regarding who these Retribution members actually are, and according to new backstage rumors, the identities of a few Retribution members have been revealed. Apparently, a few superstars who have been missing from action recently are being considered to be a part of Retribution, with two of those superstars being Mojo Rawley, who was last seen on TV back in June of 2020, and Bo Dallas. Now, there's no doubt that Bo Dallas's rumored role in Retribution comes as a bit of a shock when we look at all the rumors that have circulated regarding Bo Dallas being a part of the Fiend Bray Wyatt's new Wyatt family, but one source has mentioned that Vince recently started to change his mind about Bo Dallas being a part of Bray's new Wyatt family, and has instead decided to give Bo Dallas's role in the new Wyatt family to a soon-to-be returning Lars Sullivan, and McMahon reportedly believes Bo Dallas would be a better fit amongst the Retribution faction instead. As for Mojo Rawley, we have been informed that Vince has been struggling recently to find a suitable role for Mojo Rawley in WWE, with Mojo's run on the main roster thus far being pretty lackluster, with the WWE continuously pulling the rug out of any of Mojo's short pushes in the company, with one rumor revealing that Vince kept changing his mind when it comes to pushing Mojo, but one source mentioned that Vince believes Mojo Rawley would be a perfect fit as one of the key members of Retribution, due to Mojo's bizarre psychotic gimmick from last year, and that it makes sense for Mojo, who has a clear reason to be angry at the WWE for how he was treated by the company and all of his potential being squandered, to be a part of Retribution, who are seeking to basically destroy the entire main roster. While it's doubtful that either Bo Dallas or Mojo Rawley would be Retribution's leader, we have been told that they will be key members of the faction, especially Mojo Rawley. And surprisingly enough, once Retribution's identities are fully revealed, one source noted that Vince thinks this could be Mojo Rawley's big breakout moment to become a big star in WWE. As of right now, current backstage rumors indicate that the WWE are planning to move in the direction of having a big Team WWE versus Team Retribution match for Survivor Series 2020, which means in all probability, the members of Retribution will be revealed sometime next month in October. As for some of the other rumored members of Retribution, Dominik Dijakovic is still very much believed to be a member, as is Mia Yim, although we have been told that Vince is planning to throw fans a huge curveball in the coming weeks when a couple major main roster superstars are subtly teased to be a part of the faction, to hopefully increase fan interest in the storyline. For those of you who may also be fans of the UFC, then you would likely be aware that former UFC heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier has retired from mixed martial arts after having a truly illustrious and successful career. And not surprisingly, one source has mentioned that the WWE are very interested in the possibility of signing Daniel Cormier to the WWE in the very near future, something that was reportedly in the works a while back but never amounted to anything. But now that Cormier is done with the UFC, we have been told that Vince McMahon has reached out to Daniel on a possible big money contract with the company, and if you hadn't known, Daniel had subtly confirmed these rumors of a deal with the WWE by recently stating that he wants to face off against Brock Lesnar in a WWE ring, with Daniel basically mentioning that he wants to fight Brock in the Beast Incarnate's home, which is the WWE on his terms, and Cormier made it clear that he would like his match against Brock Lesnar to be featured on a WrestleMania card. One of our sources has mentioned that Vince sees big potential in a Daniel Cormier versus Brock Lesnar feud in WWE, especially when we take into account the fact that the UFC already began hyping up the two superstars clashing with each other last year, which certainly garnered a huge reaction from fans. And apparently McMahon believes Daniel Cormier could be an absolutely massive star in WWE as a babyface and draw big ratings for the company. Now, as most of you are likely aware, Vince had previously tried gaining some mainstream attention in the WWE by bringing in another one of Brock Lesnar's rivals from the UFC, with that man being Cain Velasquez, but terribly timed injuries put that storyline on hold, with the WWE eventually deciding to part ways with Velasquez, due to the fact that Vince was not reportedly very impressed with Cain to begin with, and felt the money they were paying Velasquez was far too much with how injury-prone the former UFC heavyweight champion was proving to be. Let us know your thoughts on the WWE planning to sign Daniel Cormier to a contract in the near future, and do you agree with Vince that a feud between Cormier and Lesnar would draw big ratings for the WWE? Or do you think that Cormier wouldn't add much to the WWE, and that the company would be better off not signing Cormier to what would likely be a deal very comparable to Brock Lesnar's, which is certainly huge? Two big moments that had occurred on this past week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown were certainly the surprise Bayley heel turn on Sasha Banks, which resulted in Banks being storyline injured by Bayley, as well as the whole attack storyline surrounding Big E, who was caught off guard before the fatal 4-way match occurred to determine Roman Reigns' challenger for the Universal title at Clash of Champions 2020. The WWE have now provided fans with an update on the storyline injuries for Sasha Banks and Big E, and the company certainly made the two superstars' injuries seem pretty serious, and we have the rumored reason for that being the case. According to one of our sources, Vince wanted the WWE to make it clear to fans that Sasha Banks and Big E's injuries were serious, due to the fact that both stars have been written off TV for the next couple of weeks, with one rumor revealing that Sasha won't be appearing on the upcoming edition of SmackDown to sell the injury storyline, but will likely return a week or two before Clash of Champions to set up a big match against Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title. But as for Big E, we have been told that the WWE have plans to keep Big E written off TV until after Clash of Champions, when Roman Reigns takes on his cousin Jey Uso for the Universal title, because one new rumor has revealed that Big E is still penciled in to be the first official challenger for Roman Reigns' Universal title, and Vince simply wanted a way to keep Big E off TV until after Clash of Champions, when Roman and Jey Uso shock fans with a new faction, with Langston then returning the following episode of SmackDown to challenge the big dog for a title match. We now have our main story featured in this video, and it is regarding the rather shocking rumors about AJ Styles apparently planning to retire and leave the WWE in 2020. Now, for those of you unaware, AJ Styles recently mentioned on his Twitch stream that he wants to retire, with one new backstage rumor revealing that Styles has recently had a talk with Vince McMahon about deciding to retire early due to the ongoing global situation, which has recently affected Styles in a big way. And we have been told that AJ Styles doesn't want to continue wrestling under these circumstances anymore, and would rather just retire now in the near future. And if you hadn't known, before AJ Styles had signed a new contract with the WWE back in March of 2019, the Phenomenal One had considered simply retiring instead of re-signing, but couldn't refuse the big money contract offer from Vince. However, one of our sources has mentioned that after AJ Styles' involvement in the Jeff Hardy and Sami Zayn storyline wraps up on SmackDown, Styles is reportedly going to be secretly retiring and leaving the WWE, with one rumor indicating that Vince has agreed to letting Styles retire and ride out the rest of his current contract at home, providing AJ doesn't try to jump ship to AEW. Let us know your thoughts on AJ Styles planning to leave and retire from the WWE in the very near future, likely before October 2020 rolls around. And do you think that Styles should consider a move to AEW in the future once his non-compete clause with the WWE runs up, or should AJ just enjoy his early retirement? Make sure you guys sound off in the comment section down below, and do give us your thoughts and opinions on the matter.